Folks, it's a great day to talk hockey, so let's get at her. Today, our topic, Ivan Demidov. Habs fans, you may have heard of him. We saw plenty of highlights throughout the year on Demidov last season, but not many full game scouting reports. You can't judge a player strictly on highlights, or folks would overrate players like Trevor Zegras, and that would never happen. Here is a look at Demidov in games 2 and 5 of SKA's playoff series versus Dynamo Moscow. He scored goals in both games and had an assist in game 5, when SKA staved off elimination in large part due to their young superstar. Going into the playoffs, SKA's much beleaguered coach Pavel Rottenberg declared that Demidov was likely to be a healthy scratch, despite leading SKA in scoring as a KHL rookie. Caused quite an uproar, and Rottenberg caved in somewhat and dressed Demidov for the first game, but played him fewer than 8 minutes and kept him off the power play entirely, choosing instead to go with forwards like Mikhail Vorovyev, who scored a whopping 7 goals in the regular season. Not surprisingly, SKA scored just one time in the contest and fell 3-1. Demidov would notch SKA's only goal in Game 2, where he played a regular shift and was SKA's best forward. So Rottenberg did the smart thing and played him 9 minutes in Game 3. You may have detected a sliver of sarcasm there. Suffice to say, Rottenberg continued to yo-yo Demidov's ice time, and in all but one playoff game played him sparingly on the power play despite having no better options. And while Demidov still managed 3 goals and 5 points in the final 5 games of the series, despite these hindrances, SKA fell in 6 games to Dynamo. And Demidov was soon on his way to Montreal, while Rottenberg received his pink slip and skulked off to Daddy's luxury yacht to presumably begin a dark period on the Black Sea. Let's roll the tape on Game 2 for starters here. Demidov came out like he was shot out of a Tsar cannon, or the Tsar cannon. Google that one, folks. From the opening shift of this game, he was dynamite, dangerous. And there he scored right off the bat. He went to the net after just missing one, received the pass, put it in, beautiful play. The first 4 really good scoring chances were all Demidov, and he didn't stop there. If Kuznetsov had played with half the heart that Demidov did in this game and in the series, SKA wins it, hands down. Demidov was simply outstanding in this game. You see him there, the give and go. Great shot, too, and I think that one went off the post. The highlight showed, the replay showed that. He had numerous excellent opportunities. Almost every shift he was dangerous. It's beyond me how Rottenberg could have watched the video of this game. Oh, check this out. Look at the look of the guy behind him like, really, buddy? You're that flexible? I'd have been ordering crutches the next day if I tried to do that. And check this out. He jumps over the top of the skater, and he doesn't even break stride. Like it, I don't know. Again, I would have fallen flat on my face, but this kid is his balance is just at another level. And you look at the little shifts that he makes with his feet. I've never seen a player quite like him when it comes to how he moves his knees and his skates, adopts that wide stance, and just makes play after play. Here is 2 minutes left, tie game. He gave it to Kuznetsov, open chance, and he throws it back over between 2 defensemen to Demidov instead of shooting. That, to me, was the play. Well, I mean, it ends the game if Kuznetsov shoots and he likely scores. But anyways, he decided to try to pass it back through two defenders. Didn't work. Went to overtime, and despite Demidov, as you see here, making another nice play after another nice play, they didn't quite capitalize, and they end up losing in overtime. Believe me, Demidov did everything in his power to get SKA over the finish line there. If anybody else had played half as well as he did in that game on SKA, they win it. They're back in the series, but they fell behind, and it was tough. It was tough to come back from there. By game 5 in the series, with his team trailing 3-1, Rottenberg realized that Demidov needed to play a regular role if he had any hopes of winning. And all Demidov does is set up the first goal and snipe the second. The SKA gets back in the series. Here's a look at his shifts from that game. That dipsy doodle. You just... How many guys are still checking their jock straps? Opponents last year in the KHL. And look at that. Right off the face-off, spots the guy. He has elite vision. He sees the ice so well. And check this out. Falls down, and again, you talk about his flexibility. Like, just to fall down and to get back up like he did, so just... his leg strength and knees are like rubber. It's just amazing. And look at this. He can stick handle in a phone booth. It's just nobody had better hands from his draft class. And here, how do his knees move like that, where he can bend them? He's doing the 1/4 to 9. Like, you talk about people doing the 10-2. That was a 1/4 to 9. I don't know how he can have such flexible knees, but you see it time and time again. Here he is here. Not the fastest skater in the world, but wow, so agile. And once he gets going, you don't. Here's the Galchenyuk pass. Remember the one when the Leafs, the overtime goal by Caulfield, Suzuki? That was his one bad play, but then tell me that he didn't make up for it with this. What a shot. You believe that shot? Unbelievable. Check out the hustle on this play. That's a part of his game that I think a lot of people will come to appreciate with time, and because you don't see the hustle in the highlight reels that everybody's seen over the last 2 years. But having watched him play more than 100 games, I'm well aware of it, that he's got a great motor and he hustles his ass off most of the time. And just another reason why I think he's going to be a star in the NHL. And here he takes the pass. Good shot on net, but yeah, he was the lone wolf on a lot of plays for SKA. They'd have had 5 Demidovs, they would have won the playoffs hands down. But play after play. And here's hustle again. Not the quickest guy end to end, but he hustles. See how he holds off the checker there? And another part of his underrated part of his game is his defense. Check out this play here. Textbook. Did it perfectly. And again here, takes out the checker with a great defensive play. Anticipates the play so well too. You'll see him get a number of breakaways in the NHL where he sees that his opportunity and breaks for the blue line. the passing again. It's just yeah, his vision and passing elite, right up there with his shot, as we saw in his goal. Now check this out. Just so maneuverable. I I never got tired of watching Demidov play last year because he's just so entertaining. Like there wasn't a prospect, as much as I like Beckett Seneca and ranked him third overall last year, just compared to nobody compared to Demidov as far as pure skill goes, and he showed it every game. You got treated, and you Montreal fans are going to get treated this year, guaranteed. Perhaps the most underrated part of his game is his competitive fire. And you can tell that he was determined to show Rottenberg that benching him was ill-advised. He was on top of opponents constantly, and his motor and ability to anticipate the play are key parts to what make him so successful. He checks off every box when it comes to offensive tools. When you combine his competitiveness and smarts with his deadly shot, elite vision, unbelievable maneuverability, and terrific stick handling, what you have is the complete offensive package. I was at his NHL debut in Montreal, and he almost brought the roof off. The ovation he got on his assist was the loudest I've ever heard at a sporting event. It was a stunning debut, but his play in the last 6 NHL games after that, fair to say, it was average at best. No goals, -5, got a couple of assists. He got his first taste of NHL playoff hockey, and it was probably an eye-opener for him. It gave him an idea of how little time and space there is in a highly competitive NHL playoff game. That's a great experience for him. I'm fairly certain that it won't intimidate him and affect his confidence, though. This is a kid who's always been a phenom. He played in the Hlinka tournament at 15 years of age. Think about that. On a Russia team that's one of the best, first and probably the only 15-year-old kid that'll ever play for the Russian national team in a under 20 event of that magnitude. He's been destined to be a superstar, and that's what we're going to see in the NHL, I believe. What those playoff games, are most likely to do is inspire him to work even harder this offseason and come to training camp ready to make his mark at the NHL level through a full season. From all reports, he is training hard in Montreal this summer, and the scary part is that he rarely got ice time during the summers in Russia, as there were few arenas that keep ice in the summer. So, is he going to be even better prepared than he was in the past? Buckle up, folks. It's going to be quite a ride. It may take him 10 or 20 games to fully adapt, but I expect a monster rookie season from Demidov. There is just too much talent and determination in him not to prosper in any league, including the NHL. Last fall, I predicted Lane Hutson would win the Calder Trophy and perhaps score 60 points. Okay, I batted 1,000 on that one. I'm doubling down on Demidov. He will also win the Calder, I do believe, and it would not surprise me at all if he's the first rookie since Matt Barzal to crack 80 points. I would say 60 to 70 is more realistic, but this kid has always overachieved. He was second in the KHL in points per 60 minutes as a 19-year-old rookie. There will be no such restrictions on his ice time and power play time in Montreal this year. No political agenda. No vindictive coach angered because he won't sign another contract. Demidov's production will depend somewhat on who he gets to play with and if he ends up on the top power play unit. Regardless, he will produce. He will make several highlight reel plays because he always does, and Habs fans will embrace him like they did Kovalev perhaps even more so if last year's hype is any indication. Folks, his future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. Thanks for watching, and keep talking hockey.